Hi guys! Today we're going to paint a beautiful watercolor winter birdhouse using my custom brushes, which you can download via the links in the description. First, make sure to download the sketch, palette, and reference image linked below this video. I'm using canvas number 4 from my Watercolor Procreate Brushes set. Place the sketch layer at the top of your layer stack, then select the Draw Here layer. Open the brushes and choose the main brush. Set the brush size to 71%. Pick the first color from the palette and start painting the light areas of the birdhouse. I like to use strokes that mimic the texture of wood. Next, take the second color from the palette, which is slightly darker, and shade most of the birdhouse, leaving out the darkest areas under the roof and a highlighted spot at the bottom. Now, use an even darker color to define the shadows. Start with the dark spot on the front of the birdhouse. To achieve a richer color, I go over the area multiple times with the brush. Then focus on the shadow beneath the roof, layering the brush strokes for depth. To clean up any paint that goes outside the sketch lines, use the eraser. Create a new layer, choose a light brown color, and begin painting the edge of the roof under the snow. Switch to a dark brown to add shadows and define the darker areas of the roof. Now, let's work on the heart in the center. Start with a light green color for the highlights, then switch to a darker shade to add depth and volume. On a new layer, reduce the brush size to 29%, select a light brown color, and paint the inner part of the birdhouse opening. Switch to dark brown for the deeper shadows inside. Let's move on to the branch. Use a light brown shade for the highlights, then switch to dark brown to add shadows and dimension to the branch. Create a new layer to paint the snow. Use the same brush with a light gray color, setting the size to 53%. Paint the highlights on the snow. Then switch to a dark gray for the shadowed areas. Add another layer, select black, and reduce the brush size to 17% to draw the wire holding the birdhouse. Next, go back to the layer with the red birdhouse. Switch to the water blend brush and set the size to 15%. Blend the edges slightly for a watercolor effect. On the heart layer, adjust the brush size to 23% and blend there as well. Do the same for the snow layer. Create a new layer beneath the Draw Here layer. Choose the hard edge brush and a dark red color. Set the brush size to 100% and add a watercolor effect to the birdhouse and snow. Switch back to the water blend brush to soften the edges. Now merge layers. Tap on a layer, select Merge Down from the menu, and repeat this for all layers except the sketch and watercolor paper layers. Duplicate the merged layer by swiping left and selecting Duplicate. Select the lower layer, go to Adjustments, and reduce brightness to 100. Then create several duplicates of this white layer, merging them together to make a solid white base. Create a new layer under the white base. Choose a dark gray color and the Frozen Procreate brush. Select the Frozen 7 brush and paint a circular background. Use white to soften the edges for a smoother transition. On a new layer above the birdhouse but below the paper layers, switch to the Frost 1 brush. Paint frost on the branch and wire using white, setting the brush size to 4%. Finally, use the icy snow brush to add highlights to the snow. Switch to the Snowfall 2 brush, increase its size, and add a touch of falling snow for a magical finishing touch. And that's it. Our illustration is complete. Thank you for painting with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon for access to more tutorials.